and our team and our page can see what this call is all about. So good job, Rusty. Thank you. I see it is live streaming now. Awesome.
All right. Aloha. Welcome. My name is Jennifer Allison Murray, and as you can see, I'm here with one of my best allies in business, Miss Julie Mai. We are here to just say hello, welcome you. We call this call the golden ticket because we have one, and now you are being gifted this ticket. But you know, as we know from our own experience, it can be incredibly hard to identify. But I will just start by saying, you know, my experience was not in network marketing. I didn't know anything about selling anything or how to be, you know, a home-based entrepreneur in this way. When this came to me, I was a cookbook author, a chef, a former restaurant owner out here in the middle of the ocean in Hawaii. And, you know, was just going my own way in life and kept having a friend sort of pop up with this, what I thought was a very bizarre opportunity. Didn't feel very interested in it at all, wanted to keep going with my cookbooks. And, but as she was a friend of mine and quite a persistent one at that, I decided to give her products a try. And lo and behold, a lot of pain that I was having in my body for years seemed to just vanish within a few weeks. That's not everybody's experience, and I'll talk about the products a little later in the call. But I feel pretty blessed that that was my experience because it caught my attention, because I know that there are a lot of people out there that are in pain. And so I decided to take a look at what makes this thing tick, and quite to my surprise, within a couple of years, was able to retire myself from being a chef and a cookbook author and take on this career of helping people find their way out of pain and helping people help other people. Pretty unique, and it's something that, you know, when it came to me, it was very hard to see. And I know that that is the case for a lot of people. You don't necessarily think that your friend Kathy or your friend Sydney, you know, is showing up with the answer to your problems. It's just kind of a unique industry, network marketing. We use word of mouth. We just use person-to-person contact. This is my story. This is what happened to me. Do you want to try it? And so it can kind of come off as rather insignificant, right? Your living room is very small. It's not the place you think you're going to find this enormous opportunity. And I think a lot of us, and myself included, you know, I walked into it thinking, I guess I have to learn how to sell some products. But it turns out that the industry is much different than that, and much more elegant. And so we're just here to sort of demystify what it is. And I can just say that the good news is, if you made it this far, if you're hopeful for a change in your life, whether it's with health or with your career, if you're curious, I would say just keep following that curiosity. If you're praying, if you're wanting, if you're needing, then keep an open mind that perhaps you have been guided to the right place and that this could be something worth trying. And so with that, I'm actually going to introduce Julie. Julie is someone that, for me, 7 years ago, you know, was a lot like probably you or your friend, someone who's very hardworking, owned her own jewelry, gold jewelry company, and, you know, had this great product. I think a lot of us look at business as though, you know, if you have a great product, maybe it's a great business opportunity. And what we've learned in life is you can make great products, but there's a lot more to business than just that. And when Julie came along, I saw that she was also a dreamer, someone with a huge vision, that even from, you know, us in the middle of the ocean doing our thing to make our way, that we could create something huge. We could create something global. And that we would just do it with ordinary people, person to person. And she grabbed me with that vision. She had this solution. And I just, you go through life and you often think you have some problems that don't have solutions. And so it was pretty amazing to me that this woman thought, wow, I've got, solutions. So I tuned in and I paid attention, and it changed my life forever. So Julie, go ahead and share some of your wisdoms with us.
Aw, thank you. That was so sweet. Hi, everybody. Well, first of all, thank you for being here. If you are a guest to the call, I just appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to some information that may be completely foreign to you. Maybe you've heard something like this before, and really what our goal is just to educate you and to help you understand truly what this industry is all about. And I think for me, in the beginning, it took my own due diligence and my own research to really understand what I had my hands on. I think a lot of people struggle with really understanding the power and the beauty and, like I say, the golden ticket of what we have our hands on. So thank you for being here. I love that she mentioned that I was a dreamer, because I think we're all dreamers. I think we grow up dreamers. We dream about what we want to be when we grow up. We dream about our fantasies and how we want to live our lives, and then life happens. We get a job, hopefully we go to school, we get a job, we get married, we have kids, and then we find ourselves like, oh, this wasn't maybe the dream that I was dreaming when I was a younger kid, right? So for me, that's basically how my story began. About 7.5 years ago, I was at home. I was working at home here on the island of Kauai, working my rear end off really hard. I had a jewelry design company, like Jennifer said. I also was a waitress at night. My husband worked full time in the construction industry, and we were literally 2 ships passing the night. He would get off at 4, I'd go to work at 5. I worked all day with the jewelry. I had 2 young girls, and it just was what it was. We were just working day in and day out just to pay the bills, just to put one foot in front of the other, to hopefully that dream of buying a home one day would come true. But I remember there was a moment where I just looked at my life and went, holy cow, like that year just passed by so fast. I'm just juggling my kids and trying to find people to take care of them so that I can work even harder. And as the business grew and I became more successful, what I wanted most in my life, and you mamas can relate to this, is just more time with my kids. I didn't have my children to pass them on to someone else to raise. I just wanted to spend more time with them. But I also didn't want to live in a tent on the beach, although it wouldn't be so bad in Hawaii, but I wanted to be able to, give them the life that I necessarily never had. And that wasn't a life of not having a home, but it was a life of not really having a mom around. My mom worked so tirelessly and so hard just to provide a life for me that would be comfortable. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, that came at a price. And I didn't really know my mom that well growing up because she was always working. So I found myself in this predicament of how can I be successful and yet be the mom, be the present person that I want to be. And a friend showed up on my doorstep, basically just like you're on this call, with some information about a product that was changing her family's life. And of course I was like, okay, I'll listen to your spiel, but I don't want to sell anything. I'm a jewelry designer, I'm a mom, and I don't have an ounce of time to do anything else. But I was so intrigued by the information that she shared with me, you guys. I was so blown away by her story of what it did for her family and for her husband that I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to do the business part of that because I don't understand it and I'm too busy, but I will start taking the products because they are so incredible. And Jennifer will talk a little bit on the products at the end of the call. But what I did decide to do is share with my mom. My mom was struggling with some health ailments in her mid-60s, and I watched her life transform. And luckily, because of that transformation of me watching my mom just completely turn into the person that she was, when she was younger, just more vibrant and happy and fulfilled and wanted to babysit my kids, I was like, oh, there's something to this. And so that's when I decided to do my due diligence. That's when I decided to do my research, you guys. And what I found is that some of the most incredibly successful humans on the planet, people like Sir Richard Branson, people like Warren Buffett, Jim Rohn, who is one of the most incredible speakers that's ever graced our planet, people like Tony Robbins, which I'm going to share a little clip in a minute. Some of the most successful people in the world either teach, own, or support network marketing. And the reason for that is because network marketing is one of the only industries on the planet that can give you the ability to leverage your time. And so like traditional business, like what I was doing, I would have to produce a certain amount of jewelry every day to sell to stores to get paid. And if I didn't produce the jewelry, I wouldn't get paid. Just like if you have a 9-to-5 job where you go to work for someone else, you clock in for 5 hours, 8 hours, you get paid for the time you clock in. If you don't go to work the next day, you're not going to get paid. So when I learned this idea of leveraging my time, leveraging my efforts, and finding a network of individuals who wanted the same thing, what is that? Time flexibility, time freedom, time with people that we love the most. If we can create a leverage wheel that continues to go with or without you, then what that can do for your life. And with a product like what we have, when people see it, fall in love with it, they want more and more and more of it. So they continue to order month after month after month. And that's where the beauty of leveraged income comes in, so that you can step out of the wheel when life happens and the income continues to come. So when I wrap my head around this idea of, I don't have to work for the next 40 years of my life to be able to have the life that I dream, I got so passionate and so excited, because I learned that instead of having me have to do 100% of the efforts, I could find people that were like me, moms that were like me, people that wanted more freedom. And if we all did 1%, we would have the same, if not more, coming into our life than 100% of our own efforts. So I'm going to share a little video with you of Tony Robbins explaining why he believes not only is this industry one of the best in the world, but why it is the industry of the 21st century. So Rusty, if you will go ahead and throw that video on for me, that will be great.
You've been around a long time. You've seen a lot of different things.
I have.
What are your thoughts about network marketing in general? And what is your thoughts about the decision that people can make to become entrepreneurs using it?
Well, it's interesting. I'm doing this program right now, and I got a room, of a couple thousand people from 44 countries. They're all business owners. Some of them are businesses that are approaching $1 billion. Some of them haven't even started yet, right? They're just picking their business. So it's really variety. And one of my goals in that event is to actually get people to not go in business. And the reason it sounds horrible is someone spends $10,000 come to an event, and I told them up front, some of you are not made for this, because to run a business requires a certain natural capacity, a nature, if you would, besides skills that you learn. And it's the ability to handle risk. It's the ability to handle stress. It's the ability to do a lot of different things. And you have to be able to manage finance. So most people, they have some of those skills. And that's why every year, 50% of businesses that start are out of business. You look at over any 5-year period of time, 80% are out of business, and over a 10-year period of time, only 4% make it. Now, make it, Eric, doesn't mean that they're making any money, right? That just means they're still standing. 96% fail, and after 10 years, you're set, right? No. Look at Lehman Brothers, right? Around for a century. They did combined $1 trillion in revenue over that century, and they're gone. So the world, technology changes, products and services changes, it's so competitive. So to really be successful, it's a really unique situation. What's beautiful about network marketing is you get all the benefits of being an owner, but you don't have to be worrying about supply chain. You don't have to be worried about accounting, especially in the world we're in today. Network marketing used to be a little bit more different, but today with technology, you can know what's happening in real time. The companies have already set up the software, they know what happens. So it's really picking the right company, and there's a lot of great companies in that area. And it's really realizing that you're really a value creator. If you can go out and add value to other people's lives, if you can just introduce people to a product or a service that a company you represent that truly is extraordinary, some products and services can't just be thrown up on Amazon. They need the story to be told. And if you found a product or service of that nature, and you got a company that has a generous schedule of being able to reward you, and then you begin to get leverage where it's not just you, where you've multiplied your efforts to other people, then you get all the benefits of being a business owner without all the headaches and without the same level of risk. And so I think network marketing is amazing. Now, network marketing has a mixed reputation, and we all know that, right, in the marketplace. And anybody goes out there, what are you doing? That's why you got to own yourself as a professional. I think that's why I'm supportive of what you do, because you're not just pumping people up, you're giving people real skill sets to be a pro.
He shared about how you can leverage your time, how you can leverage the ability of what you can bring into your life. And that's really what I fell in love with. And when I did my research, and people are going to say, oh, is it one of those pyramid things or this, that, or the other? And once you really understand that network marketing is simply, in the most basic forms, is it's sharing information. And more so than selling, a lot of people think, oh, I'm not a salesperson. And I say, perfect, because I honestly think salespeople don't do very well in this type of industry, because we're more connecting with people. We're building networks of people who not only want to help people with their health, but want to help people with their financial future, and really to grow that leveraged income that will continue to come into your life year after year, month after month, year after year. So, with the world changing so much, I'm just going to touch on this and then pass it back to Jennifer. With the world changing so much, you guys, I mean, just with even before, COVID happened, and now with COVID and millions and millions and millions of people out of work, wondering how are they going to, make it, what's their future look like. It's scary for a lot of people to be able to offer someone something that they can do from the comforts of their home. If they're a mom, they can fit it into the nooks and crannies of their life. If they're busy, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I built this on the beach with my 2 kids just because I had that vision and that dream that I knew that this was going to help me get my time back with my kids, which it did. I worked hard for 3.5 years. I had my 3rd baby, got pregnant again, had my 4th baby, and I was able to stay home and be mom to them because of this incredible business model that we're a part of. So just to give you a quick glimpse of where this industry is going, it's quickly becoming one of the fastest growing industries in the world. We're going to close out this year, projected to close out at about $250 billion in world sales. And that stems across 100 plus countries in the world. And by 2025, it says that we're going to be at about $650 billion in the world economy that network marketing will be giving back to the world economy. So it's a huge deal. It's happening more and more, and we're just so excited to share what we know with you, and hopefully just open your eyes a little bit to what is possible and what's out there beside just the normal day-to-day grind that you might be used to. So Jennifer, I'll pass it back to you to talk a little bit about our products, and then we'll go ahead and close up the call.
Thanks, Julie. Yes, we love the business. It's a great economic engine, but I think that it's pretty safe to say that none of us would be here if it wasn't for the products. I would say solidly over 80% of us. We get enchanted with what this is because it's so special and so unique. And there's a really great reason why we're not a retail sales company. There's a really great reason, and that is because people have to tell this story. There is no shelf space for our products. We're in a category alone. Nothing can touch us. Nothing will be able to for years. We have patents. We have simple plant-based, mostly herbal formulas for your health. Our company was started by scientists, was not started by businessmen looking to make money. It was started by scientists that spent their careers trying to figure out how to increase people's health span. Accidentally, we're actually increasing lifespan as well, but the goal was to make our days here as healthy as possible, right? Because a lot of us, whether we admit it or not, we anticipate that our health span is going to be shorter than our lifespan. We anticipate a period at the end of our lives that is pain and suffering because we've been taught to anticipate that. So what these scientists have been able to create is a category of products called nutrigenomics, a huge word that breaks down to essentially mean we're using nutrients to affect genetic expression. And genetic expression is not a part of our everyday, conversation, but maybe it should be, like we're all expressing genes all day, every day. And, we've known about these genes, we've known about the DNA for a long time, but what's really come to light in the last few decades is that 97% of what controls how you're expressed, which genes are being expressed, is being influenced by the environment of the genes. So basically your cellular health, your cellular environment. And these products are essentially sending the proper signals to your cells to express the genes that are beneficial to your body and not damaging to it. So if you can sort of simplify it to, if you've ever picked up looked inside of a piano, right? A piano has a lot of keys, but then it has a lot more strings and things inside of it. And if you just let it sit there, it will age and it will get out of tune. And then you need to get in there and restring and essentially bring it back to tune. And this is what's happening with our DNA when we are taking these patented herbal formulas. We are getting genetic tuning happening, and this is peer reviewed. These are products created, like I said, by well-respected scientists. As Julie kind of mentioned, we have a couple of Facebook groups. We have a Facebook group where you can learn all about the products. We have a Facebook group where you can learn about the business side of this. So I won't dive too deeply. The science is profound. We are listed in the National Institute of Health website, which is pubmed.gov. You can see tons of over 24 studies independently funded outside of our company, because the scientists have no choice. They have to use our products. Like I said, we're the only products on the market that are having this kind of effect. So if you understand anything about what people are dying of, what people are suffering from, then you're going to want to tune in, because it isn't enough these days to sort of just do what you want and hope for the best. It is wise to optimize your health. And, I think we all know a lot about what's going around with, the ailments of our day. I won't list them because we're not making any promises here, but what our products are doing is not even healing. It's not even treating specific problems. It's creating an environment of cellular health, and your genes and your beautiful, brilliant design of your body gets to take over. We're basically restoring the processes of our youth. And so we are generically categorized as anti-aging. I can say that I was 38 years old when these products came to me, and I was getting out of bed in the morning like an 80-year-old, and I am 45 now, and I feel younger than I did 7 years ago. And so there's no turning back for me. I don't want my aches and pains back. I don't want my migraines back. You can keep them. So couldn't imagine that you're not at least curious after hearing some of this information. Please do communicate with the person that invited you. We are happy to send you links to try out the products, and we are more than happy to get you on board. Like we've been saying, as working with us, it's all working together with other people, with no boss and no employees, but a lot of training and a lot of camaraderie and help from other people. So I think we will just wrap it up there. Thank you for coming.
I'll say one more thing real quick. Just real quick, I just wanted to touch base on what you said about the health and wellness industry, you guys. It's the biggest world trend in world history. It's not just a fad, especially with what's going on right now with, everyone being so conscious about their health and wanting to take care of their health, and to be able to have something that helps 100% of the people and all mammals 100% of the time is pretty incredible. And then you pair that with over 80 million people in the next 5 years looking for home-based businesses because of what's happening in the world. It's a win-win. So I just wanted to share that little tidbit with you, and just maybe ask yourself, before you ride this off, or before you really think about it, ask yourself, if you envision your life in 5 to 10 years down the road, what does it look like? Do you have a plan set in place for the life that you most want, whatever that may be? And if the answer is yes, then awesome, fantastic, go to work, do your plan. But if the answer is no, and you've been looking for something, or maybe praying on your knees for something to come into your life that could potentially help you and give you back the freedom that you so desire, that I really, really just want to ask that you take a deeper look. The person that invited you to this call will definitely be getting back to you to see what you liked best, and just know that we're coming from a place of just pure caring and heart, and we just know what we have our hands on. We know how many people are helped with these products and this incredible business. So thank you for listening. Thank you, Jennifer. Just wanted to throw that in there at the end. Love you guys so much. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Bye.